27th, I intend to move a motion seeking Parliament leave to introduce a private members' bill for the amendment of the Administration of Parliaments Act. And we have several reasons why we would want the Administration of Parliament Act to be amended. Given the fact that we are in a multi-party political dispensation, right from 2006, the Constitution was amended under Article 82A to provide for the office of the Leader of Opposition. And the Constitution provided that Parliament shall prescribe the mode how the Leader of Opposition will be chosen and how the Leader of Opposition will cease to be the Leader of Opposition. Consequently, Parliament went ahead in 2006 and amended the Administration of Parliaments Act to provide for the office of the Leader of Opposition. Under Section 8, as you're aware, it provides how a Leader of Opposition is appointed or is chosen. And the Leader of Opposition is chosen from the political party with the highest number of members of Parliament. However, that Leader of Opposition, to be chosen, it must be a consultative process, working hand in hand with other political parties in opposition in Parliament and other stakeholders like the independent members of Parliament. So the law was not elaborately amended to provide for all members, stakeholders in Parliament who can participate to ensure that the process of selecting a Leader of Opposition, since it draws funds from the consolidated fund, that Leader of Opposition has to be accountable to the people of Uganda and to Parliament. It therefore means that that Leader of Opposition or that office has to be under the purview of Parliament in the execution of its mandate. Right now, what's happening is that the Leader of Opposition is not chosen by the opposition political parties. Neither through consultation. The Leader of Opposition is selected from Kavule by some few individuals without consulting other opposition members of Parliament. Now, for me and my colleagues who are seconding the motion, we feel this is not enough for purposes of ensuring accountability, value for money, and deepening democracy and multi-party political dispensation. That's why we are coming up with a motion to amend that particular provision, Section 8 of the Administration of Parliament Act, to provide how elaborately the Leader of Opposition has to be chosen. And that has to be an election where the opposition members of Parliament, all of them participate, including the independent members of Parliament. Because practically, independent members of Parliament belong to the opposition, but they are never consulted. That is one. Secondly, the opposition members of Parliament, the same law, did not provide how all political parties are consulted when constituting the membership of the committees of Parliament. What is happening now? Still people go to Kavule and elect and decide who goes on which committee of Parliament. Therefore, Parliament has been left outside. The leadership of Parliament, members of Parliament, have been left outside, and Parliament has been shifted to Kavule for NUP in selecting how you deploy members of Parliament of the opposition to different committees. The same with the Commission. The Commissioner of Parliament, there's no consultation from the opposition political parties when coming up with the name of the Honorable Nambeshe, who is now the Commissioner who was selected. He was selected from Kavule, not from the members of Parliament of the opposition here. And neither did the independents participate in that regard. Thirdly, when you are looking at the leadership of the committees, there is no consultation again with the opposition political parties when coming up with the leadership of the committees of Parliament. You're going to find a very senior person like Honorable Deke, who does not belong to NUP, when they have made her a deputy chairperson of a committee, and a new person who has no parliamentary experience from NUP has been made a chairperson of a committee. So we feel that that is really not helping Ugandans and providing value for money. So the amendment is touching those particular provisions in terms of how the leader of opposition is appointed. Number two, the functions of the opposition parties regarding the composition of committees. And number three, the participation of political parties and independents in coming up with the leadership of the committees of parliament. That's what we call accountability and value for money. The second aspect of this bill is touching on the removal of the leader of opposition. Ladies and gentlemen, as you are aware, the leader of opposition of that office has a budget of about 4 billion Uganda shillings. That money is drawn from the consolidated fund. Therefore, there must be an oversight by parliament in as far as how that money is spent, whether there is value for money or not. Therefore, the office of the leader of opposition must be in the purview of accountability and oversight by members of parliament. So what happens if that member fails to execute his mandate as leader of opposition? The current law has a lacuna. Parliament, the people who elected him, the opposition members of parliament, who selected this particular leader of opposition, cannot remove that member from being a leader of opposition. What happens? They provide only for grounds that if he's withdrawn by the political party which sponsored him, or number two, if he ceases to be a member of parliament, or if that political party which he represents no longer has membership in parliament. But is that one enough? The president of Uganda, as we speak, under the constitution and under parliament, he can be removed by parliament. You are aware. The speaker of parliament can be removed by parliament. The deputy speaker can be removed by parliament. Cabinet ministers can be removed by parliament. Even members of parliament can cease to be members of parliament under the law if they fail to attend specific number of plenaries. What about the leader of opposition who is at the level, because the law provides that he's the level of cabinet, he's like the government chief whip. What happens to that leader of opposition if he misuses the government money, if he conducts himself in a way that gives disrepute to the country and parliament? Who holds that person accountable? That's why we're coming with an amendment again on section 8 to introduce new grounds how a leader of opposition can cease to be the leader of opposition. And those other grounds are one, incompetence and misconduct. And how is it removed? By the same people who elected him. They are the ones, because that is now opposition. The same people who give you mandate are the same people who have the capacity to remove you. So the opposition political parties in parliament, together with the independent members of parliament, if they feel their leader is not delivering value for money, he's not accountable, he is not fulfilling the grounds provided for to be a leader of opposition, they have the right to withdraw their support and remove that person from being the leader of opposition. So that's what this bill is all about, ladies and gentlemen of the press.
Promise that this is a Kisanja of no sleep, meaning we will not tolerate any incompetence, corruption of any kind. So this Kisanja does not leave any stone untouched. You saw what happened within the parliament. Every stone was touched. So even those who access government resources while hiding behind elements of opposition, the stone will be turned and touched. So this law is meant to strengthen this law, to strengthen this promise to Ugandans, the mandate for which Ugandans gave this government. So do not take it to say we are witch hunting anyone. We are simply fulfilling a patriotic role of good governance under multipartism, democracy, and ensuring that everybody is toying according to the ideals and principles of democracy, the Republic of Uganda, and being sovereign in a way without deviating from the responsibilities of a good leader within the country. I thank you.
First of all, you know that it is the mandate of a member of parliament to do his job. One, legislation. You are aware. that I was elected to do legislation. Number 2, to do oversight. Number 3, to do representation, and also perform the budget function. The law provides how a member of parliament can move a private member's bill. So he does not need to consult anyone when he wants to move a private member's bill. You have an idea as a member of parliament, you want to legislate. If you feel that there are some gaps in any of the laws of Uganda, you are entitled under your own right to move a motion, seek the leave of parliament, and introduce a private member's bill. It is within the confines of the member of parliament. Yes.
Yeah, in the 11th parliament, I know these two have been there.
This is the 12th parliament. And for us, like for me, I am a member of PLU. And our foundation is on accountability. So we task whoever receives public funds must be accountable because you're using public resources. So that is our stand. Now this time we are seconding his private member's bill because we believe that we need leaders who are accountable, and that is why me as a PLU member, I chose to second him.
And we're not targeting any individual, because the office of the leader of opposition is an office, it's not an individual.
No, maybe another question.
My point is very harsh, because we are saying that a leader of opposition, to cease being a leader of opposition, there are grounds, yes. But those grounds are not sufficient. We are only saying the other ground should be if you are incompetent, and if you're incompetent, and if you have been found to be culpable in terms of accountability. So I do not know whether members of the media, you are saying people should not be accountable. That those in NRM should be accountable, but those in opposition should not be accountable. I do not think you want to say so. So this bill is about adding some grounds, like misconduct. What happens if the leader of opposition undresses on the floor of parliament and becomes naked? Naked completely, Adam's suit. You get it? What happens?
No, then...
So, let me answer one by one. So, if misconduct of a member, misconduct of a leader, there's a difference between the leader of opposition as a member of parliament and the leader of opposition as the leader of opposition. Yes.
Okay, maybe
I just want my answer from you two.
Yeah. For me, what I know is...
and what should the whole country should be aware of. This bill, proposed bill, is not targeting Ssenyonyi. Get me?
Why now?
It is not targeting him. This is what I'm telling you. Our bill. Can you listen first? Can you listen?
Please.
The new proposal in this bill is not targeting Ssenyonyi. It is amendment of the administration of parliament for the good governance of parliament. And on top of that, you know that Ssenyonyi is already a law. Isn't it a law now? So what are you talking about? This is just to amend some section to strengthen that office very well. Because you are getting government resources, you are running with government portcars, yet you are in opposition. You need to also be answerable to the accountability roles.
Senior leader.
Yes, yes.
He's in the government.
Let's hear from
the other
George.
one is in opposition.
Yes, George.
Huh?
George.
Exactly for who is the fund is not given to the director. The fund is given to the law.
It's okay. Please, let's listen. I'm going to chairing the meeting. Nabanyabo, aba media, amanya gange, bampita Dennis Namara, ngandi omubaka achikirira Bujaga West constituency mu parliament ya Uganda. Ndi wano na colleagues bange, Honorable Polot, Okumi, and Honorable Ngompek from Chiriandong. Lero tumaze okutekayo okuwandikwa kwaffe omwakalaka wa parliament nga tumubulira tugenda okuletako ebbago muteeka lyaffe erifuga parliament lyebayita the Administration of Parliament Act. Tugenda okuletako amendment oba enkyukakyuka mu buwaayiro obutonotono mu tteeka lyaffe ebbago mu tteeka lyaffe erya Administration of Parliament Act. Lwaki ekisooka nga mumanyi nnyo okuva 2006 nga tuvudde mu movement system nga tugenze mu multi-party oba politics z'ebitebe byonna obudde emabega tewaliko office ya leader of opposition oba omukulembeze mu parliament atwara abavuganya government bonna mu parliament. Naye kati ssemateeka waffe owa 1995 206 bamukyusaamu oba ne mwamwendinga ne bateekako leader of opposition mu kawaayiro 82A aka constitution nga kalagirira parliament eteekeko amateeka amalala leader of opposition oba oyo atwara abavuganya government mu parliament akawaayiro akagenda kuba oba etteeka erigenda kuba nga libafuga office eyo okugiteekako. Era parliament teyakola ensobi awo naawo 206 bakyusaamu mu tteeka eddala lye bayita lyo lyennyini Administration of Parliament Act akawaayiro 8 ne bakyusaamu ne bateekako office eya oyo avuganya akulembera bona bavuganya government mu parliament. Kati ebbaga eryo ligamba ntino omukulembeze owa opposition mu parliament alina okuba nga alondebwa political parties zonna eziri mu parliament oba okulondebwa alina okugenda nakwataganya n'abo bonna opposition parties eziri mu parliament. Naye kuva edda nga FDC ekyatwala nzijukira nabo tebali tebakikola bali bakikola bokka. Nakati kyekimu party erina ababaka abasinga mu parliament NUP tekonsultinga oba teyebuuzizza ku bantu abalala abali mu political parties eziri mu parliament. Bagenda e Kavule ne basalawo ne bagamba ffe twagala ono, tebabuuza ba MPs ba NUP abali mu parliament, tebababuuza erinnya lijja buzzi ne bagamba twagala ono. Kati ffe tulowooza nti enkola eyo si nnungi kubanga office eyo eri mu mateeka. Ekyokubiri, office eyo bagiteekako okwongezaamu amaanyi mu bya political dispensation oba ebya multi-party politics eze Uganda, politics z'ebitebe. Ntino bw'obanga otwala aba opposition MPs bonna mu parliament buli kintu kyokola olina okwebuuza ku political parties endala zonna eziri mu parliament. Naye kakyetulabye nasawa zino leader of opposition aliwo bamulondera e Kavule. Political parties eziri mu parliament endala tebazibuuzaako. Aba UPC tebababuuza, aba DP tebababuuza, NT tebababuuza, bajja bujjabu ne baleeta ki erinnya ery'omuntu. Kati ffe ng'abantu abaagala accountability mu parliament eno empya eyo 12 saagala njogere 11 kubanga 11 yalina ebizibu byayo mu bimanyi nnyo. Eyo 12 eno parliament empya na mmere kyayita stock empya. Parliament empya twagala president nga bwe yagambye tewali okukola ki tewali kulambaala mu balasoga bagamba tewali kulambaala tewali kwebaka. Olina okubeera ng'otunula ng'olinda wakame kubanga ababbi bangi. Kati tugamba ntino twagala office zonna tuziteekamu amaaso katutandise n'eno tugana okukwata office endala. So tugamba ntino eno office okugiwangawo waliwo ebintu bye baleeka mabega ng'aba independent members of parliament kubanga bali mu opposition nabo tebali mu government. Era n'okutuula batuula eri mu opposition tebatuula ku side ya government. Tulabangako omuntu wa independent nga tudde ku side ya government batuula nnyo opposite side ya opposition. So tugamba ntino twagala tukolemu amendment bwebanga balonda omukulembeze ow'ababaka aba opposition mu parliament basobole kwebuuzaako kwabo bonna abali mu opposition n'abo aba kinoomu ba independent members of parliament. Kyekisooka. Ekyokubiri, bw'oba ogenda okulonda abagenda okukulembera obukiiko obwa parliament obwa opposition olina okwebuuza ku babaka abalala bonna aba opposition. Si gwe kugenda e Kavule ne muleeta amannya gammwe temwebuuziza ku ba FDC temwebuuza ku ba UPC n'okwata honorable Wadeke n'omuwa ekya deputy nga senior amaze mu parliament ebisanja 3 n'okwata wa NUP n'omuwa gwa chairperson nga yakajja tabe nako na kansala naye n'omufora chairperson wa committee. Kitegeeza oba otyoboola eddembe lya opposition oba otyoboola enfuga ennungi eri opposition eri Uganda. So twagala tukyusemu akantu ako bw'oba ogenda okunoonya abo abagenda okubeera nga bakulembeze mu komiti za parliament olina okwebuuza ku babaka bonna aba opposition ku babaka bonna aba independent. Ekyokubiri, bw'oba oyagala okuleetawo chairperson wa committee olina okwebuuza ku babaka bonna aba opposition ku babaka bonna aba independent. Eyo point esooka. Eyokubiri, tebateekako bwebanga baleetako amateeka ago waliwo obuntu bwe bayabira obuteekamu. For example, mukimanyi bulungi etteeka constitution yaffe eteekako president ng'obuyinza omujjako, parliament eyinza kujjako president, parliament eyinza kujjako speaker ne deputy, parliament eyinza kujjako ba cabinet ministers ne baba censuringa mwabaraba edda bakuteesa baba censuringa n'abalala. Naye lwaki ono ye leader of opposition tewalimu ebbago nti no bw'abanga takoze bulungi obanga sente zabamuwadde ku budget bilioni 4 bazibbye ne bazimbamu apartments, lwaki tewaliwo ebbago akawairo akagamba oyo tumuteeremu etooki bwe tusanga ntino waliwo sente zeyabbye n'azimba apartments ng'alina okuyamba okuvuganya emirimu gya gavumenti n'aba opposition naye n'azimbamu apartments naye tumukubemu tooki tumuggyeko? Lwaki? Abaana obu bajja gamba mukoze bubi, naye ekyo bayita accountability, kisanja n'okulala. Obba sente tukukwata ekirungi tuli mu parliament, tutula mu parliament. So twagala twongeremu ebintu nga bibiri. Ekisooka, misconduct oba okweyisa obubi nga omukulembeze owa opposition, okweyisa obubi kyebayita misconduct. Incompetence, okulemererwa. Sawa zino opposition leader bw'abeera incompetent oba bw'alemererwa tewaliwo kayiro konna okuyinza okumugjamu except party ye eyamulonda okukola ki? Okumugjayo. So twagala kulongoosaamu obuntu obwo butonotono tulabe nti no parliament yaffe etambudde bulungi n'eggwanga lyaffe Uganda etambudde bulungi. Ekisooka simanyi